Virgil, well done. You got it done, but at times was it a little bit close for comfort?
At times, I think we were very poor today. But in these times, it's good to get the 3 points. And it sounds very cliche, maybe, but it's very important to win these type of games. And we did so. That's the positive about tonight. And now we have to recover, improve, and be ready for Brentford.
So very poor is quite a strong way of putting it. Did it feel off right from the start, really, from a performance point of view?
Well, we tried to get in the game, but it wasn't good enough today, and we all know that. So we'll improve, but we won, and that's very positive. That's what it's all about, of course. But yeah, there are plenty of things we have to improve.
For a centre half, it looked like a difficult game. Did it feel like they were kind of getting through the midfield and you were being run at more than you'd like?
It's difficult for me to say that at the moment. But yeah, obviously we know they have quality up front, they have speed, they have guys who can play them balls in behind, and yeah, a couple times it was dangerous, a couple times offside, and that's obviously their game plan. That's what their strengths are. But yeah, job done. Let's keep it that way.
As much as you were delighted to be ahead at half time, as much as you're delighted to be stood there now having won, did you feel a bit for Wout Faes? I suppose any defender goes on the pitch knowing it could be the day where it goes a bit wrong for you.
No.
Right, okay.
If you go on the pitch with that feeling, then you're already 1-0 or 2-0 down, in my opinion. So obviously we prepared us very well. We had a good game in Birmingham the other day, and we tried to keep that going. At times today we were maybe a little bit too quick, and then we lose the ball in difficult situations and a bit more open, and then obviously that's they have a lot of players and they can play in those strengths, and but you know we have to take the 3 points, be confident, and on to the next.
How?
An honest assessment from Virgil van Dijk, who says that Liverpool tonight were very poor with their victory. Can it sometimes just go like that in a game, Steve?
You can't be brilliant every game. You'll go through the full spectrum of being poor and winning games, and be at times fantastic and losing games. That's what happens as a football player, and games will come and go. The main thing is in, you say it all the time, you've said it for the last 50 years, during Christmas and the New Year period, when games come thick and fast, particularly now with the World Cup and everything that's gone along with it, there will be some strange results. So sometimes you just have to notice from the beginning of the game, it's not our day today, and you just have to grind results out. And you hope you get the goals which they did, and you hope you get people who will step up to the mark. And I thought a couple of Liverpool players played well today, but overall, I thought they, like I thought against Aston Villa, they look vulnerable at times, and that will have to improve. Defensively, they have to improve, because Leicester made too many chances tonight for Liverpool. Aston Villa made too many chances the other day, and they will come a cropper very soon if they don't improve.
Despite that, though, it is 4 Premier League wins in a row for Liverpool now, and they're now just 2 points off Tottenham in 4th place, Michael. They've hit their best run of form of the season right now, when the fixtures, as Steve says, are coming thick and fast. That's a good time to be in good form, isn't it?
Well, we all know what happens over this festive period is that games do come thick and fast. So, you know, a good run in this type of period, and it shoots you up the league. Liverpool have dropped off the pace so much in that first period of the league that there's no slip-ups allowed now, really. They just can't make any slip-ups, unless they're just going to settle for squirming into 4th place or 3rd place, maybe. But if they want to have a real good run at having a decent season, then there's no slip-ups can be had anymore. And despite them having a good recent run, it's been a favourable set of results, and they haven't been at their absolute best. But again, you can turn it into a positive and say getting results when you're not playing so well is also a great sign. So I think on the basis of everything, when you take everything into consideration, Jurgen Klopp will sleep well tonight. Of course he will. He's got 3 points, but there will be a nagging thing thinking, right, if we play someone decent, really good at the moment, he'd be a bit nervous going into the games because, as Macca says, they're conceding a lot of chances at present.
You said that they can't afford any slip-ups, but that's exactly how the game started for them tonight at Anfield, with Keenan Dewsbury-Hall somehow finding a way through Liverpool's midfield and defence. How does he manage to get through this many players?
Well, actually, this is a good goal, because it's an awful goal for Liverpool. It's a great goal for Dewsbury-Hall to go and score. But you can analyse that very, very simply if you're a Liverpool defender, because there's mistakes off everybody. Everybody's fast asleep. Everybody misses the challenge. Andy Robertson gambles when he doesn't need to. He just needs to follow Ayoze Perez into that space. Instead of gambling and jumping forwards, he just needs to follow Ayoze Perez across the pitch. And he will either tackle Dewsbury-Hall or Ayoze Perez will be offside. And there's this sea of red bodies chasing him. But it was a really nice goal by Leicester.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand why Andy Robertson steps up. He thinks the ball's going to be played through, but of course it isn't. So it has to be pinned as a mistake. This finish, I just think he loses his balance a little bit here, and the ball becomes a little bit behind him, and he almost kicks it into the ground, which gives it a bit of lift over Alisson. But a lovely individual goal, and a good goal from Leicester in general. They punished what is a risky game that Liverpool play. We all know that they take risks. They freely admit that they take risks in their defending the way they want to play, and it didn't come off at that point.
Is part of those risks the high line that they play? They've now conceded 9 goals at Anfield already this season. That's the same amount they conceded in the whole of the last campaign at home.
Liverpool are easy to play against. Their plan is to outscore the opposition. That is it. And they play so high up that if a midfield runner like there happens, or someone like Jamie Vardy who just kept on gambling to go forward more than Virgil van Dijk did and kept on running offside. But if you're pacey enough, you're going to get chances against Liverpool. But as Mo said, when he interviewed Pep Linders, he said they freely admit to playing high up so they can get their offensive players in higher positions up the pitch, which is fine. But sooner or later, they're going to get caught. And when there's so many points behind Manchester City, Arsenal, Newcastle, and at the moment Tottenham and Man United, they can't afford to drop any more points. They have to keep on rolling along. And as someone who watches Liverpool a lot, I just think they're playing with fire a little bit, and they could get caught out away from home. The fans will drag them forward at Anfield, but away from home at Brentford, for instance, where they came a cropper last year, that's where they could struggle.
Yeah, well, they were fortunate tonight with the 2 goals that won them the game. Both own goals scored by Wout Faes, the 4th Premier League player to score 2 own goals in a game. That is a list that he didn't want to be on. But what goes wrong for him in the first one?
Well, both are avoidable, Jules, but I think the first one in particular is a real poor one, because I don't think he's in the worst position. He's covering that near post area. He gets to the ball fine. He's almost in control. And I just think, I can't believe why he's so erratic at the last moment. I think he can easily just tap it behind.
Salah's not even anywhere near him.
No, there's no one behind.
This is the position there.
That's the one. He's so erratic. Just knock it out for a corner. Why do you have to try to launch it out of the stadium and hit it so hard? I just think it's an erratic attempt. And don't get me wrong, it's so unlucky the way it loops right in the corner. You've got to feel for him.
Yeah.
However, if you do things wrong, then you're at risk of making mistakes like he did.
1 own goal is bad enough in a game, but 2 is seriously unlucky, Steve. But
yeah,
I mean, should Núñez have done better in the first place?
He gets Darwin Núñez out of all kinds of trouble on his left foot. He has to score first. Doesn't get it on target. Ricochets off the post. And as Michael said at half-time, Wout Faes is going that quick that he can't get his feet out the way. And in the end, he slashes at it again. He would have been better just jumping over it and letting Amati clear his lines. It was just... I don't know. I don't know the thought process of a centre defender when he's chasing the ball back there. But everything he did for the 2 of them was fundamentally wrong, and that was the worrying thing about it.
Surely it has to be the same thought process as an attacking player like we were. I mean, as I said at half time, if the ball is going to the goal and it's impossible for you to actually stop it before it crosses the line, then the last thing you do is almost get so close to it that you smother it. So if it does hit the post, you've got no reaction time. It can just bounce and hit you. So as a centre forward, I'm running and I'm actually thinking, right, get into an area whereby when it bounces, I can cover as much space as I can and I can react to it. But he almost just sprints after it. So when it hits the post, it just hits him straight away. And it's like, you can't avoid it just hitting you. So I think it's, as much, again, it's unlucky. You have to feel for him. But these tiny details, what separate the best from the rest. And he's one of the rest. He's an okay defender, but he's not top class. And these top class defenders just do tiny little things that you don't even notice that avoid situations like that first goal, avoid situations like the second goal. So harsh on him, yes. But
mistakes.
That's what separates.
It wasn't as if someone took a shot and it ricocheted off him and went in. They were mistakes then. You know, the first one, Danny Ward's shouting at him behind him, the Leicester goalkeeper, but he elects to kick it, but just slashes at it like mad. Communication, is a problem for him as well.
Yeah, you've got a feel for him, haven't you? Okay, well, let's get the thoughts of his manager, Brendan Rodgers, after that defeat.
Brendan, they're really straightforward, but that was a strange first half. Your team did so well, you're in front. I'm sure you couldn't believe that you were behind to the break.
No, we started the game great, scored a terrific goal and we're deserving. We looked dangerous in the game. And then obviously, very quickly, we found ourselves 2-1 down with nothing, out of nothing really, first one in particular. So it was disappointing, but the players kept going. They were very competitive in the game. I always say you got to come here and you got to play with the belief that you can win, and you could see the players, they had lots of really good moments in the game. Probably lacked a little bit of quality in the final third at times. That was my only probably bugbear really. We were in some really good areas but just failed to make that final pass, but overall the players gave everything and I didn't think we were deserving to lose.
Yeah, Wout Faes has become a regular in your team very quickly and he's been a good performer for you. Is that just bizarre, unlucky? What do you put it down to?
Yeah, listen, he's come back a little bit rusty, having not played for a long time. When he was away with Belgium, he had no minutes at all, so it's just going to take him a little bit of time to get up to speed again, but there's absolutely no doubt when he came in, when he did for us, he was been absolutely fantastic, and just unfortunate for him today.
Yuri Tielemans didn't start tonight. Was that a tactical decision?
Yeah, we just went for more energy, more physicality in the midfield.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, a disappointing night for Brendan Rodgers' side. It's now 2 defeats since the return after the World Cup. We spoke before the game about how they really picked their form up leading into that break. It's a bit of a strange match for Brendan Rodgers to assess so soon after, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think he'll be reasonably pleased with today's work. I mean, he has played against a resurgent Newcastle, who were third now in the league, and Liverpool at Anfield. I mean, he'd be delighted if he got anything out of those two games anyway. So I don't think he'll be too disappointed. Going into the enforced break, they picked up an awful lot of points in a short period of time, so he would have been delighted and relieved about that. Because he was under a bit of pressure, and the team were under a bit of pressure, and they were looking over their shoulder thinking, relegation zone is here, and they've been there before. So I think, on balance, he won't be too despondent about that. Get a couple of tough games out the way, and calmer waters will follow.
They've dropped 17 points from winning positions this season, Leicester. That's the most in the league, more than any other side has. Is that something that can be worked on within a team? Will that be playing on their minds at all?
Yeah, it has to be playing on the minds. They had to sell players and they couldn't invest really, could they, I think? So, that's a reason why they've probably dropped off a little bit. I think the performance tonight was great. I think you can analyse it as a Leicester City fan and go, well, the 2 goals we conceded were because of X, and they were a little bit short up top, like Brendan said. But apart from that, I thought the performance was excellent. It wasn't against Newcastle, but once they come back and the longer they stay together after this, this hiatus of the World Cup, I think they will improve because their performance tonight was good. But they're better than what they have shown, and I think I don't know what their finances are at the moment after COVID and everything that's gone on with them, with the owners' businesses. But hopefully he'll get a little bit of money to spend. Some of the money that he had to sell the players, he can invest again, and they can start to go again.
Okay, positives to take for Leicester tonight in defeat. Let's get the thoughts now of the winning manager, Jurgen Klopp.
Well, Jurgen, job done, but fair to say it wasn't a completely straightforward night.
Yeah, obviously with the early goal we conceded, it's not helpful. So we are here for producing results. So that's what we did tonight. We won the game, 3 points. That's very important. And in our best phases, when we were super stable, we had performances similar to tonight. Maybe not exactly like that, we lost balls in the wrong moments if you play against a counter-pressing, a counter-attacking team. then we were too open in these moments as well. You could see just this was really tricky. We had to change the formation this morning, which is never helpful, especially with such a specific job in the center against them. And so we had good spells. We had Leicester. We started not well, but then we had good spells. We scored the 2 goals. We forced them to score the own goals, which is obviously a real pity for the boy. And then second half, last line was better. We were higher up, could put more pressure on it, but they still had their moments because we were too open. When Joel is dribbling inside, which he does from time to time, he needs to be protected. In these moments, he was not protected. There was nobody. I think our full midfield was on the same line as Joel in that moment. These things make not too much sense. But I saw now nearly 1,000 football games in that role, and I know that these kind of things happen. How said, we have to take the result momentum, but we have to play better against Brentford, definitely.
So Fabinho's off doing something much more important, looking after his wife as she gives birth. But from what you're saying there, was missing him in front of the back four, was that huge for you tonight?
Yeah, because we had to have one session, have a game. That's the most useful information you get in this when games come that quick. And then you have one session, and that was the session we had yesterday. And this morning's just a bit set pieces, and then we got the news, and then we sent him home. Yeah, not perfect, but again, we played in that formation. We can do that. It's just it was with the start with that early goal. That's obviously not helpful to get some kind of momentum in the game, and then you really could see the impact it had, because we conceded a goal from a goal kick because we were too deep, and the reaction I would have loved to see would we go higher up and have the challenges in other spaces, but the reaction was we got a bit more I'm not saying passive, but we stepped rather back than we were rather backstepping than front-footed, and that is not helpful as well. So that's what you try to change then in the game. And again, it was now in a lot of moments it was really good, but in some decisive moments not. And so they had still their moments, but we had obviously massive chances again. So really good football moments. The chance from Mo was brilliantly set up by Darwin, and Darwin's chance and all these kind of things. So unlucky in moments as well. If we win this 3-4-1, could have happened as well. So but the game is still the same, to be honest, and that's what we take. It's our job. It's not about that we sit down in a dressing room and have a party and think, oh my God, we cannot play better. It's the best way we ever played. We are self-critical, and we have 2 days time to turn a few screws, and that's what we will do.
Well, Steve, you're intrigued to know what Jurgen Klopp was going to say about the performance. What do you make of his assessment?
Yeah, I think it was easy enough, wasn't it? He's played in games where they probably played better and lost the game. And that's what happens. They lost at home before the World Cup to Leeds, didn't they? They may have played better that particular evening. I think he knows when they play well and why they struggle this evening. He said all the right things. Virgil van Dijk, I thought, was great as well. And I think if you're self-critical, as a player, when you get away with a game and you get your 3 points and you quickly try and move on, and that's what they have done tonight.